In April 2026, Cursor 3.0 moved the Agents window to the front of the interface, making the traditional file tree view an optional toggle. This version changed the primary workflow from manual file navigation to the management of parallel agents. Controlling this agent-first environment requires a mental model built on 5 specific primitives. These are the building blocks of every Cursor capability: rules for persistent instructions, skills for dynamic workflows, subagents for parallel tasks, hooks for deterministic scripts, and the model context protocol for external tool connections. You interact with these primitives across 9 different surfaces. This escalation ladder shows the hierarchy. You start with Tab for line-by-line completions and Command-K for single-file edits. As complexity increases, you move into Composer for multi-file plans, eventually reaching Agent mode for autonomous execution. To manage your budget, you must distinguish between the free and paid pools on this ladder. Auto mode, which handles the lower steps, routes tasks to efficient models that do not draw from your monthly credit limit. Manually selecting frontier models like Claude Opus at the top of the ladder burns your paid credits immediately. Following this escalation ladder ensures you aren't wasting your monthly frontier credits on routine completions that the free models can already handle. The rules directory provides the highest return on configuration effort, provided you avoid context bloat. Setting every rule to always apply forces the agent to read irrelevant instructions in every chat. Using globs instead allows you to scope specific rules only to the relevant file types, keeping the context window focused. Composer 2 is the proprietary model designed specifically for these multi-file edits. It utilizes a 200,000 token context window to track complex changes, but it requires you to use @mentions to target the specific files needed for the task. For complex refactors, you use a 3-phase loop: scan the directory, propose a plan, and then implement. You must enforce hard user approval stops at every boundary to ensure the model doesn't drift from the requirements during implementation. While Composer is an editor, Agent mode is an executor. You escalate to the agent when you need the IDE to run terminal commands, read the logs, and course correct based on those results until a task is finished. Because the agent can commit code autonomously, you should run these tasks in isolated Git worktrees. This prevents unreviewed changes from colluding your main working directory or causing accidental data loss. Maintaining tight file scoping and explicit approval boundaries allows you to use these autonomous features without losing control of the codebase. Cursor spawns subagents to build front-end and back-end components simultaneously in parallel. But to avoid divergence, the main agent must first generate a shared contract, like a ZOD schema. Locking in this requirement ensures the parallel work will actually integrate. The model context protocol acts as a connector layer, linking Cursor to local tools and remote HTTP servers. But there's a ceiling of 40 tools. Exceed this limit, and the agent silently loses access. You must manage your tool list actively. Treat your MCP servers like production credentials. Because they can execute commands and access your data, you should verify any third-party packages and test their commands manually in a terminal to debug failures. You can bundle all these primitives into single-click installs using the plugin marketplace. Combine MCP servers with deterministic hooks and dynamic skills to create custom automations that run until your specific goals are met. This configuration of subagents and external connectors creates a full orchestration engine. You are now able to run your entire toolchain through the IDE's central agent interface. For teams, Bugbot serves as an automated PR reviewer. By defining your standards in a bugbot.md file, the agent can catch security issues and convention violations before they ever reach a human reviewer. Monitoring these costs is essential for production teams. Defaulting to auto mode saves hundreds of dollars per developer every month, compared to teams that use frontier models for every routine task. In a head-to-head comparison with Claude Code, Cursor wins for daily IDE work. Its proprietary models for tab completion and its integrated PR review experience make it the superior tool for a multi-file development environment. However, Claude Code remains the better choice for terminal-native automation and tasks that require the deep reasoning depth of a 1 million token context window. Cursor requires a subscription, but the training to master this orchestration is now complete, free. No paywall, no sign-up, no certificate, just the work.